Okay.
Clap again?
Oh, no.
Okay.
We can just do 1, 2.
Okay. Zoe and I went.
Oh.
Sorry.
I literally forgot. 1, 2, 3.
Zoe and I went in movies. Yay!
Welcome to A to Z.
A pod culture pod. I'm Zoeya.
And I'm Aurelise.
And today, this is a very special, exciting episode. We are talking about the movie of the summer.
Movie of the century.
Movie of the millennium.
Absolutely.
Bottoms.
Bottom.
So fuck up some football players.
I want that trophy.
I'm a stomach man.
You will know the name forever.
Yeah, you really will. Because what? Like, wow.
Because wow.
It's just so good.
No, it's so good. It's a movie that really just keeps on giving.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. It gives more blood. It gives more sexuality.
Yes.
It gives more gore.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And so basically for the breakdown of this episode and how we're going to talk about the movie, we want to get into our personal opinions of the film. We want to get into a little bit of cast and characters.
Plot and dialogue.
Plot and dialogue as well. We want to get into some of the formal aspects like cinematography and music. And we want to get into the reception of the film.
The ratings, exactly. And just also within that, like what the movie kind of attacks and what it, what's that word? It parodies, yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
so,
how it fucking eats that in general.
like, so well. So we are starting with our personal opinions.
Well, as you can probably tell, we are very enthusiastic
We
about
love
the movie.
it. I'm literally
Loved
gonna
it.
go see it again this Friday.
Yeah. The problem with Bottoms is that it is released in select theaters. So
Yeah.
people across the nation, there have been many Twitter responses about not being able to see the film in certain cities because it's just not showing in like some theaters. But the people are fiending because everyone says it's so good, and it genuinely is so good. It came out August 25th, and the people are clamoring. The people want more.
They're
the people
shaking.
want a global release.
And
Provide a global release.
I hope that it happens
Yeah.
because in my local theater, I don't know if it's because I went on a Thursday, I don't know if the host hate gays, but that shit was empty. I brought me some wine, stuck it into the theater, and had me a blast. I knew so many of the lines. Like, it's just such memorable dialogue, and we'll get into that, but like, it's just so fantastic.
Absolutely.
And it's like a never-ending roller coaster of fucking jokes.
Of fun.
Of fun, literally.
Exactly. It's exactly what we've been waiting for. As a Gen Zer appreciator of movies, this is exactly the type of comedy we've been waiting on.
Yeah. And I think it definitely, someone compared it to like Superbad, but queer. And literally, it's like we've seen this movie before, but we've never seen this movie before. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, there's a fucking gap in the market, and this is really kind of calling attention to the way we need to fill it. Because now I saw it, I want more.
Absolutely.
You know?
Because there are a million and one movies about men being terrible and awful and making terrible decisions. And it's funny.
And toxic relationships, but this...
It's women.
Yes.
Women are fucked up.
Yes. Women's wrongs. Absolutely.
Women's wrongs. And it's hilarious. It's just as hilarious as when guys do it. When guys fuck up. Maybe even funnier. Because it's
they're
girls
unhinged,
doing
everyone.
It. Yes. Everyone is unhinged. And they're teens. And it's messy. And it's bloody.
And it's bloody.
Yes.
Love it.
But yeah, our personal opinions of the film, we fucking
10
love
out of
it.
10, no fucking notes.
It's absolutely 5 stars. Like that's movie of the summer.
We'll
like,
see it again. Yes.
Absolutely, we'll see it again. Like actually, and we saw it together on the day it actually came out, the 25th, and it was just so fun because we also the way we had just like. We had such an amazing day that day because literally after we watched the movie as well, this is worth mentioning, we literally watched But I'm a Cheerleader, and then we watched Shiva Baby, which is Emma Seligman's first film.
Coming back to it sober. 10 out of 10, 5 stars.
Absolutely.
I don't disagree, and I didn't disagree with you then.
No,
I was just very
drunk.
Overwhelmed. Overwhelmed. But
yeah,
cinematic masterpiece I enjoyed.
Shiva Baby is not for the weak. Upon first
or
watch.
drunk.
Or drunk. on first watch, you might want to just experience it cinematically for what it is, sober. So you can appreciate it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was really good because we had literally a queer triple feature that day. A fun little sleepover. So I suggest you watch Bottoms, you treat yourself to a double, triple, however many feature you want.
Just enjoy queer cinema, yeah.
Yeah. Just
That
fun.
was fun. Yeah, I definitely. We hadn't seen a movie in theaters. That was like our first time seeing a movie in theaters together, which is hilarious because we literally
Wait,
have
really? No, lies. We seen Debs.
Okay, but you know what I mean. That came out already. Yeah, new movie.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes
Speaking
sense.
of Debs, I've been meaning
That's
to
another
watch
queer
it
movie.
again.
I just love watching gay movies.
Yeah. And
That's
oh my
the
god,
theme.
we exited the theater. That's what I was gonna say. It very much felt like, yo, what the fuck am I like? At least for me, I need a girl. They call me bitchless. Not such all my other queer friends. I said, hey, you're in a relationship. You can suck my dick. Like,
it's so funny because I saw a tweet after watching the movie. It was like a few days later. I saw a tweet with this one person where they were just like, I'm going to watch Bottoms right now with my girlfriend. A lot of y'all can't relate. Sorry about that. I was like, oh.
I'm glad you ain't sent me that.
I was like, the
tight.
gays. Why did you attack the
Why
gays?
did you do that? It's hard out here. Why?
I was like, oh.
Nah. Why they said that?
I was like, oh.
Why did they say that?
You just attacked
And now
the
look at me,
community
man.
real bad. Like, whoa, that was like a bomb. That's crazy.
Got me more bent than a Friday at a Jamaican dance hall.
Everyone felt that. Even the straights felt that hit somehow. But yeah, somehow.
The heteros.
I love it. Heteros felt that hit. The heteros felt hit.
Yes.
Well, yes.
Yeah. Like, stop
so yeah, the plot of the movie.
Right. So Google says, and we'll go from there.
Ooh.
Unpopular best friends, PJ and Josie. Unpopular is hilarious. Untalented gays, PJ and Josie.
The ugly,
Untalented gays, please report to the principal's office.
Guess that's you guys.
That's you guys.
I ate that. Oh my goodness.
She did. We'll get into what the fuck she doing in this film. They start a high school fight club to beat girls and lose their virginity. That guy just immediately in front of him. They soon find themselves in over their heads when the most popular students start beating each other up in the name of self-defense. Beautiful.
Beautiful. Like,
no, it's I read everything. What else do you want me to say
no,
about this film?
absolutely.
But
like,
yeah, so basically
Oscars, Emmys, Tonys, Grammys.
Oh, are we doing spoilers? We're not, right?
Oh my goodness. This is not a spoiler free
At all. Go fucking see it.
Wait, it is spoiler free. No, it's not.
It's not spoiler free.
Damn it, let's do this again.
This shit got spoilers.
This bitch has spoilers.
I do.
So if you are going to indeed watch the movie, which you should,
Don't watch this yet, because I feel like we're gonna talk about all the little bit. Like, just wait.
Absolutely, we're going to dissect every little.
But
thing
come back after
as
you
we
see it,
fucking
because you're
should.
gonna like it after you've seen it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So trust us and go watch the film. Come back because we're gonna get into it.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Okay.
But yes. So let's start. They basically start with we're hot now. And we're bitchless, so like let's do something about it. They establish in this carnival scene that
they are down absolutely bad for the
because
count.
Josie, when she talks to, I forget her name, but Havana,
Yeah.
and she's like, you're a little skinny mini, aren't you? You're a little skinny, skinny little thing, aren't you?
You're skinny.
Little skinny mini, man. A little
Uh-oh.
something.
Call the doctor. The uh-oh is so crazy.
Uh-oh.
The uh-oh. Skinny girl I see. Like,
You're a
what?
little skinny mini, aren't you?
What are you talking about?
And then
Isabel. Her name's Isabel.
Isabel. And then Rachel, PJ is like, to Kaya Gerber, who, she, like, Kaya Gerber and, what's her name again, you said?
Havana's character?
Mhm.
Isabel.
Isabel and, I forgot her, Kaya's character. Do you remember? I saw this shit
Want me
twice.
to talk to? You're gonna talk to Isabel. I'm gonna talk Brittany.
Brittany. Okay, so Isabel and Brittany,
I love how I have to do
besties.
that. Yeah.
We felt that they were kind of gay.
the way I looked at the camera and went,
Yeah. We felt they were kind of gay.
Or at least I thought that Brittany, which is Kaya's character, had harbored
crush
a
on
bit of a
her,
crush
yeah.
on Isabel.
Because she
which
literally.
makes sense.
It would.
It made so much sense to me. Like, one really big thing that I like about this film that's like very, I don't know, like a small detail, I guess, but felt so pivotal to the film was all like, just the intricate little details that you could see upon like second watch or something like that. And I caught on first watch on the chalkboard where that unserious ass class with Mr. G on the board, it said Brittany loves or Brittany hearts Isabel. And I thought, well, yes, that's when I thought, yes, oh my god, yes, best friendism.
This is
that's
a
so
gay
cute.
movie.
But this is a gay movie, so are you telling me that she
Emma,
didn't? Are you telling me?
Let us know.
Are you telling me that Brittany was not actually in love with her?
Tell the people.
I don't know, but I thought that that's the trajectory of where that was going, and that it was going to be a funny, like, flop thing at the end where it's just like, I'm in love with you, and she's like, no.
Yeah. Which it
but
was.
I am gay.
Right.
No.
That was not what I was expecting. Like, when you had said it, because you said it early on when we watched it the first time, I was definitely expecting Brittany to kind of be like, oh, I'm not attracted to you, I'm attracted to Isabel. Like, but I expected her to come out and be like, oh, like, yes, but no.
Yeah.
But
I expected her to be like, well, I'm glad you came to that realization. You're still my best friend. I don't like you that way. I'm obsessed with Josie's awkward ass.
Yeah.
Like, that's where I was kind of expecting that to go. But I don't know. I guess not. Not everyone's gay.
Right.
So
Yeah. Right. I guess.
That's the straights have to have a few things.
But yes,
including Kaya Gerber.
So this is a carnival scene. PJ is out here arguing with Kaya. We're not arguing, going real back and forth, very one-sided about going to get a hot dog, and she's like, I'm not eating the bun. She's like, you have to have the bun. He's like, I'm not getting a bun. You gotta have the bun. Like, what do you mean? So the inciting incident for the conflict is that afterwards, Isabel and her boyfriend, what is his name? Jeff. Of all names. Yeah, because he goes, Jeff. I remember.
Like she's a Power Ranger.
I remember. Yeah. So they fight because he like cheats on her again.
For the millionth time.
Literally the millionth time. And also can't tell if it's consensual because I remember he had mentioned like, oh, I'm so sorry that I groped this older woman's boob like twice.
Yeah.
But so we don't know too because he's insane, unhinged in a completely different way.
All of them are unhinged.
Right, but his is a different one for sure. They're all in their own different ways. Yeah. So they're fighting. PJ's like, open the door. She needs a ride home because her boyfriend like they're bugging, and so she does. Isabel's in the car. They're fighting. Everybody's pressuring Josie to like hit the thing to leave. It touches him like that. And he just collapsed like he was like on a college campus trying to get that insurance money.
Please.
It was bad.
He falls to the ground. Real quick.
And then immediately we get that rivalry between our protagonists and the football kids.
And the football boys. And the football boys make the absolutely like just top 10 funniest entrances in a movie like of all time because they just do the absolute most, and they're just so ridiculous. And what is happening to this country? They're sliding on cars, and yeah, it's just hilarious. And the girls are zooming the fuck out of that parking lot because they're not trying to be incriminated in this nonsense.
Buckle it for the God!
Yeah. And so they just get the fuck ASAP. And then the very next day,
the principal is like, and this is what's in the trailer, can be ugly, untalented gays. Please report to the principal's office. I guess it's you guys, blah, blah, blah. Then, to save their butts in the principal's office, that's where...
Because the principal's fully going 100 and he's trying to expel their asses. Yeah. Because according to him, this was a targeted attack.
Which is hilarious because he's on a whim. So by the end of them talking, he doesn't care anymore.
No, he actually doesn't. He actually doesn't give a fuck. He just wanted to be a menace to society and harass women.
And
that's what they do.
Right. And one thing that they definitely do is they play it up I guess the suspension of disbelief of the existence of this high school up to 100.
No, absolutely.
They got like posters of girls in bikinis talking about fuck the school, go shake your titties at the football game. Everything revolves around they run it.
Yeah, the absurdism is to a T.
It's
a 10.
crazy. Yeah.
A
So the other threat is Huntington, which is a rival school. And
which is why the principal was not playing about expelling their asses, because he wanted the football team to be at 100 at 10, and with Jeff being hurt in a nanosecond, that threatens the school's status in playing a football game where men tackle each other.
And we later find out that they be dying.
Yeah,
which is crazy. That was another one. Like that was kind of when it got crazy for me.
Get serious.
They were like
get hood.
Yeah,
they get urban and they start and they kill people.
No,
for
they get medieval because they said that they burned him on the stake, him and his dog.
Yeah, and then they did the
horse wrangling.
Yeah, the horse, the pulling of the 4 limbs or several limbs.
I forgot what it was called. I think it was
they took that so
quartering. I remember.
Medieval.
I don't remember nobody's name, but I do remember it was quartering.
Yeah, quartering. That's what it's called. Like that sort of torture method. Yeah, where they literally kill football players. Yeah. So the men.
So it got serious.
Yes, it got serious. And so the men have don't have a reason to be terrorists, but
because also they
that
I don't think they
to
know
them in this movie.
I don't think the football team
knows about the previous.
Yeah, so they don't have to be aware of
attacks.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? That's true.
Right?
Never mind. You guys are just terrorists.
So they just suck because they suck, and then like they don't understand that that's why they're being enabled. The principal might know, but we don't know. He don't know. Like we don't know that he knows.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So we don't know.
Yeah. Good old dramatic.
Right. Exactly.
We love you.
So it gets
sometimes.
So that's where it gets a little. Ooh, that's where it gets a little spicy. And then what else? They start the Fight Club because Huntington not only attacks the football team, but they also attack the girls. Like,
they take it serious.
Yeah, so they, on the loudspeaker, they were sharing that one of the girls had like a Huntington person come lean them against their car and like punch them and stuff.
Assault them.
Right, exactly. And they have a habit of doing that, which is what brings the need for the defense club.
And the way the movie handles that is so like good because like this girl is just sharing her experience about her assault from the opposing high school's team. Like on the announcements, she's like sharing it, and she's being vulnerable. And like you can tell it's like a serious point in the movie, and all of the girls listening or all of the women listening to this on the morning announcements, they're treating it seriously, and they're just like, fuck, like what are we supposed to do? The men sitting there don't give a fuck. The teenage boys, they don't give a fuck.
Even Mr. G is like that.
Yeah, even Mr. G, which is our adult teacher,
the sponsor for the team,
the sponsor for the Fight Club. He's just like, damn. But it's just like like the socially accepted norm, and then once the announcement is just done, it's like returning back to it's like it's just returning back to the norm. And I think there were so many instances where there was a tone shift and it got serious like throughout the movie, but it just switched back into like humor, but also just like, okay, well, this is the society we live in, this is the norm, the heteronormative norm, like boys will be boys type mentality, and playing on that, like, oh my god, it's just so
and we'll get
done.
into that one. I think that definitely leads into the parody part.
One thing Emma Seligman's gonna do is eat up a tone shift, like, whoa.
Yeah, very much.
I've never seen something like that in my days.
Yeah, because it didn't feel like you're being dismissive. It was like it just felt very natural.
Yeah, just like leaning into it.
Yeah. So they took the Fight Club. But one of the characters, Hazel, is the one that knows that they didn't go to juvie. Someone had mentioned that they went to juvie and they were beating hoes up, and then they start lying because they're like, oh, it gives us street cred. Shit gets crazy. Hazel then tells the rival.
Hazel is like a third kind of to PJ and Josie's dynamic. Although PJ don't really fuck with Hazel, and Josie kind of just tolerates Hazel.
They do at the end.
Well, yes.
That was cute.
That was cute.
I don't care. That was my favorite.
Cute.
Because I felt bad. I was like, damn, PJ. Like, she ain't but she got it.
Yeah. She wasn't.
She kissed her ridiculously in that first 2 seconds. She's like,
she took that serious.
I said,
whoa.
Whoa.
I said, Hazel.
Whoa. Relax.
But they knew they had to sell that shit.
And they
also, she wanted to kiss her.
She really did, and it was crazy because it was like it was just so cute at the end.
Yeah.
They were like, I think it has to do with the spit and their mouths.
You
like,
just
yeah,
know
I think it has to do
PJ's
with
ass.
their semen.
PJ's ass was just looking for another excuse to kiss Hazel. Like,
Yeah, maybe
don't
we
play
should
with
like
it.
kiss again. I don't. It was cute. Like I loved it. 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 I was
We,
really, really
oh my god, like just more loser gay representation.
Yeah.
They're all losers.
Mhm.
We're all losers.
Mhm.
Literally, except Isabel and Brittany, the rest of them were just losers. Or regular
Everybody in
girls.
this cast can get it. Damn.
No,
Damn. Anyway, yeah.
That's crazy.
Fight Club, shit happens. It starts unraveling when son of the football team, what's his name, the black one?
Oh my god, I don't know.
The black one.
He's
Starts-
so funny.
He's
that
hilarious.
light-skinned menace.
He looks like a gremlin. Like, you know the Teen Titans, but the new one? He looks like Beast Boy.
It's crazy
The
because
new
I
one.
know he's probably so lovely and smart and wonderful in real life, but I literally,
The green
I
one.
remember,
Mhm.
I remember when we were like first introduced to his character, or like he said a couple lines or something. I leaned into Zoeya, like in the movie theater, and I was like, it's always a light-skinned man at the scene of the crime because it's true. And he was always at the scene of the crime.
Such a good, funny, like, kid's villain because when he does the
He felt
smile,
almost.
it felt like a Grinch.
He felt almost like Shakespearean,
Yes.
like a Shakespearean villain, like
And-
Iago.
Yes,
move.
yes, and he has a like burner phone trying to call whether or not they're in juvies. But Hazel knows for a fact that they didn't go to juvies, so that's why they kind of use her in like the plot,
Mhm.
to like thicken it. So he's on here like with this damn Motorola, calling to see if they were in like the county jails. Like what the hell? And so yeah, the end is basically that like they have Hazel fight which if you notice, there's a guy that Hazel fights who's kept in a cage. He's in that cage in the first scene.
Oh, he
in the background.
is.
He's just in the cage.
Wow.
In the cage. The whole time. The
And
whole
let you
movie.
eat so bad.
In the back.
Wow.
In the cage. Yep. That's hilarious.
the
That
little
had me,
details, yeah.
that had me weak.
Yeah.
The first scene where he breaks the glass and goes like that.
And he could literally be a Viking. That's the funny
Yes,
thing.
that's
And the mascot for the school are Vikings.
the one time I flinched,
So he
but
looks
I
like
like
a
the way they
Viking.
did this. Because when he kicked Hazel's head,
Mm.
ooh, that was the one time I was like, oh shit.
No, that's crazy.
Because that's death.
That
Like,
was crazy.
That's curb stomping.
But basically, in order for, because the light-skinned man is a menace, so he
That's
literally
wild.
orchestrated, once he found out that PJ and Josie did not actually go to jail and they've been lying, you know, about the Fight Club.
Because he's like, oh,
empowered.
they're taking attention away from the football
team.
game.
So of course he had to like intercede, and he was like, whoa, women, relax. And so he orchestrated this whole event in which this sumo wrestler was
Comes
going up
out,
against Hazel, and
Hazel thought she was gonna fight PJ.
right.
So that was not good.
Literally, Hazel thought she was gonna be fighting a girl, so she agreed to this, to showing a demonstration at the school assembly.
So gay. Now that I'm thinking about
Right,
it.
like she was just like, you know
she was
what?
hurt because of what PJ said, and she wanted
Yeah.
to fight PJ. That's so gay.
'Cause
Because in
her-
the same way that PJ wanted to fight Kaya, Hazel wanted
She's
to
like,
fight PJ.
We'll work this
like
out.
that felt.
We'll work this out on the streets, but also let me kiss you.
Do you agree? Like it was
Yes.
just kind of cute that it's like,
It had that energy where
that
it's just
enemies
like,
to lovers
you
energy. a little
exactly.
bit.
You hurt me and I want to fight you, but also let's make out.
Yeah. I
that
love
has that energy.
Mhm.
That definitely does have that energy.
Right.
I'm glad that you clocked that.
That was cute.
But
go ahead.
But yes, so yeah, she basically, the light-skinned menace basically orchestrated that whole event so that a sumo wrestler essentially was going to fight Hazel in front of everyone.
Yeah.
And it was very just clearly like he had the advantage over Hazel in terms of strength, but Hazel definitely put up quite a fight.
Hazel really did that.
And she kind of rocked his shit a little bit.
to the point where the audience was like, I can't even tell what's
Yeah,
going on. Like
we
she's
cannot
wilding.
tell what's going on. But she got the shit beat out of her.
Yeah.
And it was.
And
hard to
afterwards,
watch.
we see that, and that's kind of what the good thing that I really appreciate about this movie was too. That even though with that falling out between Josie and PJ, and then PJ, Josie, and the rest of the group, when Hazel's healing, there's a scene where, like, you know, PJ and Josie are like sad or whatever, but they're getting together like the rest of the group.
Oh, absolutely! I love that. I appreciated
like
that too.
because it's like they what happened as a result of the subterfuge was still valid.
Yeah.
And I think
Like everyone finding out about PJ and Josie lying and that falling out happening and Mr. G being absolutely hilarious and
out of pocket
and being like, this is why I hate women and my divorce. But other than that, other than them falling out, I'm glad that the women were able to stick together in the club and band together for Hazel and Hugh.
Yeah, that was cute.
Through cinema, because they were watching a movie.
They
so
were.
That was lovely.
So that was cute. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so they figure out at the end of the day, because Josie goes to the Gay Yoda babysitter.
Their babysitter, PJ and
Rose.
Josie shared the same babysitter, and that's how they've always been.
It's like, I'm not your Gay Yoda. You gotta stop coming to me. Like, if you're not here to buy some weapons, what was it? If you're not here to buy some guns,
shit.
why are you here? Some shit. It was funny.
She lived in the middle of nowhere. She
Literally.
lived in an RV. She's just by
If you're
herself.
not here to try some guns, what are you doing? But yeah, so then she's the one that kind of clues Josie in on the fact that like the hoes be dying.
Yeah.
And that it's a
Men
lot more serious than we thought.
Are literally dying.
Yeah.
And that's how you know it's bad, because yeah, women are gonna get pushed around and punched around by anyone, but the men are quite literally dying.
Yeah.
So, and if the men are quite literally dying, then what does that mean for the rest of us?
Right.
So,
Literally.
Mhm.
So, you know, if the top of the totem pole is broken,
then what does it
and
mean?
these are
for the
white
rest?
men mainly.
Right. So,
yeah, so
Josie's
then
like, this shit is fucked up, bro.
Mhm.
Like, what do you mean
Right.
the footballers are dying? That's
Right.
kind of crazy.
so she's like, I'll go, like, we need to go see PJ, and then put their differences aside real quick.
Yeah.
And then they
Reluctantly at first, because
Very
Brittany
much.
and Isabel kind of reasonably
Yeah.
don't want anything to do with them because
Mhm.
they lied to them.
Mhm.
And
Isabel and
I can't believe we haven't clocked this yet, because this is the craziest romance ever.
they got together.
Yes, Isabel and Josie, and that chemistry is mind-bogglingly insane. Like, it's real good. It's real good.
Josie is me, and I didn't like the fact that I spent a lot of my life thinking like, oh, I'm probably like Isabel. No, emotionally, verbally, with beautiful women, I'm Josie.
She's Josie.
She's
It's the top of the morning to you. Yeah, she said I'm awkward and bitchless.
That was so. I think I want like I just want to go again to see it.
That's Josie as a character, just
Girl,
awkward
skinny
and
mini.
absolutely bitchless. And that's the thing. But sometimes that pulls. Awkward and bitchless and funny, it pulls, and that's why she got Isabel in the end. That's why she got Isabel in the end. Not only because Jeff is a menace who doesn't know what's going on, but it's also because she listened to her and she understood.
Jeff is having sex with Hazel's mom. That's what Josie tells PJ tells Hazel in front of, no. Hazel tells them. PJ tells the group that, oh, your mom is a hoe. Your mom's a hoe. Literally.
Yeah, and that quite literally upsets Hazel.
And then that's what makes her amenable to dealing with the light skin.
the light-skinned menace.
Mm-hmm. So that's what happens, yeah, because
So-
that was
Yeah,
what
we need to clear that up, because Succession, the Carolina, oh my god, Carolina from Succession is Hazel's mom. And that means so much to me, I think. Yeah, no, but literally, it was just so crazy seeing her with her fuck-ass bob, just fucking a
an
teenager.
adolescent,
Yeah. Weird. But, yes, and Hazel's like, really, mother, do you really have to do this to me? And she was like, I want to fuck a teen. Sorry.
Hazel's funny because when she finds out the next day, she's like,
And she's just groaning the whole time, and PJ's ass is just like, and you can tell PJ's ass is just like,
Shut up.
you're supposed to be the silent third.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then they kiss. I love it. I'm sorry.
And it's just so, and the way they kiss is just so funny, because it's just like they're doing it to
PJ licks the
distract.
shit out of her for 2 seconds and then figures it out.
It's just so funny, because
She goes.
the reason why they do it is just so they can distract everyone on the stands, because it's like girls kissing.
Yeah.
Like, this movie is just so unserious. And everyone is looking at them, and everyone, the cheerleaders, have their realization. Stella Rose, who was like pretty much this prominent, pretty character who very much so caters to the male gaze in like a parody-esque way throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Very funny. She realizes that she's gay.
Oh,
and then
sis that had the water.
She's like, I'm gay.
Yeah.
And then
and Kaya's like, I'm not. I just watch gay porn.
And I was just like, I don't believe you.
No, I don't believe you. No, yeah.
And then you can kind of tell, I guess, Isabel in the background internally is just like, well, yes, I am gay.
Yeah.
Or pan. Or bi.
Right.
Yeah. So.
I like girls to some capacity.
Exactly.
Or just Josie.
Or just, literally, she's Josie sexual.
Mm-hmm.
That's her boo bear.
Her bookie.
Right. And so, yeah, all of the girls kind of don't really know how the other team is going to strike the football players, but Josie pretty much quickly assesses the fact that the water supply has been replaced with pineapple juice. And the one thing that she knows Jeff is allergic to
Deathly.
is pineapple, or is it pineapple juice?
Pineapple.
Pineapple.
Because there's pineapple in the cup, the food cup in the
Okay.
lunch scene.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So it's pineapple. And so basically what they decide to do is to try to like make the football players like not get on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And so Hazel, because she's bomb crazy also throughout the movie, she's also like, let me set up a diversion, let me set up a bomb real quick on this tree.
It does not go off.
The bomb does not go off like it did previously when they were destroying Jeff's house, because yes they do, because she cheated on my girl Isabel. Which also brings her and Josie closer, thankfully. So yeah, they just start beating up some football players because
they don't do it fast enough. It doesn't work, so they have to start getting physical. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I was gonna say IO, but
they killed them.
Yeah, they just
someone had a sword on the field.
Oh, absolutely. Don't know where that came from.
I actually don't know. I'm gonna when I go back on Friday, I'm gonna see one.
But it was probably part of like the Vikings' armor or something like that. Vikings
perhaps.
have swords,
Yes.
I think.
That makes sense.
Historically, we don't know.
Right, that makes sense.
Vikings, I think, have.
But why would it be a real?
We don't know.
Suspension of disbelief.
Suspension of disbelief. Right. And so basically they just murder those fucking football players on the field, and it's so bloody. And it's very bloody and fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's very fun to watch these girls just absolutely kick these guys' asses.
Shit out of them.
And they're beasts. Like,
kill them.
Yes. Because the men were going to kill you, so...
Right, so it really... Yeah. So, and then...
Because the men looked pretty angry that we were intercepting their cute little football game, where the movie did poke fun at football, at being like, we came to see some male-on-male...
action,
just running each other to the ground action.
Like, cut the gay shit, I want to see men on top of men. And it was like an old white man, it was just funny.
It was hilarious. And so, yeah, the girls beat the shit out of them. And Josie tries to get Jeff away from the field because the sprinklers, literally picks him up. But the sprinklers still go off, and so everyone realizes it's pineapple juice, and she just like kind of ends up on top of him. And it's just a really funny moment because you can see how he kind of like leans in to kiss her, and she's like, I'm gay, no.
Especially because in the beginning, it was like, shut up, bitch.
Yeah, ugly. Not even just that. Ugly.
Shut up, ugly. I don't talk to people in
overalls.
And he was like, okay, I might be ugly, but these are not overalls.
Like,
and I love that. That's where she draws the line. These are not overalls. I'm sure as hell.
Like, do you have eyes?
But let's start like, let's be accurate.
Let's stick to what we know.
What we know, right?
Yeah.
Right, what you know.
And so, that was, oh my god, it was just so funny.
Thus ends the gay tale.
And thus ends the gay tale. Josie kisses Isabel in the field, and it's cinematic and gorgeous because it's one of those 360. It's one of those 360 kisses, and it's like so sweet, very rom-com-y.
Or K-dramas.
And I also, in K-dramas where they have like 3 million different shots of the same kiss too. It was very cute. But I also noted that when they kissed, Isabel shoved her in the end.
Yeah,
so they like
that was
kissed, and then she was like,
cute.
ooh.
Or like PJ
That's so
and
sweet.
Thingy Hazel.
You love PJ and Hazel, bro.
Oh yeah, because I was watching the side characters the second time.
Yeah.
And so
Right.
I was like, okay, I know that they do that, and then for this one, they purposely get real awkward around each other. Like they'll be like,
bro, stop touching me.
yeah, it was so cute because they didn't kiss again, but they just got real awkward.
It's so funny.
So
I just,
please.
oh god, that's one of
Make a sequel, just Hazel and PJ, please, just for me.
It's crazy because that's one of my favorite, like, just like kind of, I don't know, dramatic moments when after two characters kiss and it just changes the dynamic.
Right.
It's my favorite thing ever. It's so delicious, and it's even more delicious when it's girls.
Sequel.
That. Oh my god, that's so good. I love that so much. I will eat that up every time. I love dynamics when they change after two people kiss. Because are you together? Are you not together?
like,
what's the tension? Like, what's going on
what
here?
now?
I love that. I love that so bad. Breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Word.
Anyway,
None in my real life though. I don't have the answers to those questions.
The-
But so
the bomb goes off on the tree.
Oh yeah, some Mount Sinai shit for real.
Fade to black. Cut to black. Thank you.
They all just stop what they're doing and
Bottoms,
go.
2023.
It's fantastic.
And then beautiful end credits.
Oh yeah, so each character
Fuck
has.
ass bloopers. I love it.
That's dope.
I love it.
If there's more, I'd watch those. I forgot to look into
It was really giving like early 2000s film.
Yeah, where they had the.
It was
like at the end of
lovely.
Toy Story, they had it. That was
All
funny.
of these bloopers, and it was just so fun. And I was like, oh my god, cinema is fun. Cinema is back.
Cinema is back.
Cinema is so back.
But yes,
We ran through the plot for y'all, and it was excellent.
we did great. We disordered. we got there.
But it's
so-
wine and movies. This is what you signed on for. This dialogue ate down. It was just one of the funniest things.
Joke after joke after joke
No,
after joke.
it was really good. And I remember I loved the movie so much that I watched interviews and stuff like that, and I saw that a lot of things were like improvised, and a lot of Mr. G scenes were improvised. So kudos to the actor because he did amazing. And no, he would sell it in every single scene.
Yeah.
So the director, Emma Seligman, said in an interview that the reason why Marcellus, I think that's his name? No, Marcel. No, it's Marshawn.
Marshawn.
The reason why I've been watching Money Heist. The reason why Marshawn wanted to take on the role of Mr. G was, well, not just for the check, but also just because he wanted to right his wrongs with how he handled his sister coming out, I think. And so I was really touched by that, and the director, Emma, was really touched by that as well. And yeah, I just think that's really sweet, and I love that. I feel like I can definitely not feel that in his performance, but I look at his performance now like sort of differently. And yeah, he really ate that, and I love that we have like an adult figure like that, like him, but also like our gay Yoda who was just like kind of like really funny. And I feel like it was just nice to see kind of those elder characters take on this role like in this parody, like, and like took it seriously for one thing because it definitely showed in the acting, but also on the other hand like really delivered like and yeah, guided the characters in such a way when they did that, and it felt very authentic and real. It didn't feel like these characters were lecturing the younger characters, which I feel like we kind of see a lot in media, but also they were just like, they were just having these very real conversations, and it was a dialogue. It was two people talking to each other, older and younger. And so, like I've said before in previous episodes, I've been very picky about dialogue. But I feel like when this movie, it literally gave me exactly what I needed, exactly what I've been craving,
Such a
which
good
is
rhythm.
just exactly very rhythmic, very natural. Like
Yes.
I've been craving this type of comedy, like this type of absurdism.
And it's because
like,
she's younger too, right? She's our age. No, she's
Emma,
27.
I think they are. No, they're 28. I think.
Yeah.
They're like a year older
Mm-hmm.
than Rachel and Io, which are two leads from the movie.
But they're not like
right? Yeah.
normally a lot of rom-coms are like 40-year-old individuals.
Oh, absolutely,
making,
yeah.
At least like with the kissing booth and these kind of like poppy. They're
Well, I mean, tampoco así Joey's was like in her 20s, I think.
Who?
So for the lead for Kissing Booth.
No, I'm talking about the writers.
Oh yeah,
They're
yeah.
old as hell.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And it really like
and it shows.
It shows right, exactly.
Sorry.
So the fact that they're in our contemporary, because 27 is Gen Z, no?
I think.
Or
yeah.
just aging out of it. Like
yeah,
they're still
absolutely.
exposed to that media.
95, 96, I think is Gen Z, like kind of cusp millennial.
It definitely felt like accurate.
No, absolutely. And it was just, it felt so in touch to the teen experience too.
Yeah, it brought new like dialogue that I will be using.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
It was so funny.
It feels like I love this because it feels like these lines and how they're delivered and this dialogue, it feels iconic in the same way that like Mean Girls like was iconic, or like Clueless has iconic lines. Like what? Like as if like. It feels like they have lines like that, one-liners like that in this movie, and it's so refreshing because it's like, this is ours.
Yeah.
Like, it's not shit from the 2000s that we're repurposing and we're putting into our fashion, our clothing, and what we wear, and like how we act and what we say. This is 100% purely Gen Z, and I love it. It just really nails that tone. And everyone, millennials and other generations that want to write for this demographic should study it. Should study it. Stop trying to lecture me through your media. Have a dialogue.
Exactly.
Take some notes.
Like, look at how two humans interact.
Yes.
That are younger.
Like, it's just natural. It doesn't have to be.
Because what the hell?
Weird. Stop being
weird.
weird.
Use Twitter lingo all the goddamn time.
Stop being weird.
We are original individuals.
Yeah.
Like, we don't. You know what I mean?
Like maybe
I
will say you ate that every 5 minutes, but that's just because that's me. That's not like every
because right, exactly. Like not every character's getting it right. Exactly. Yeah,
and not every person is going to be the same. Like in the same way, like not every young person is the same. So much obliged. Thank you so much, Emma Seligman and Rachel Sennell.
For real, yeah, because they are co-writers.
Such lovely dialogue. Yeah,
I forgot to mention that.
Ate that.
Yeah. Let's see, what other characters? Do you want to go through character, or do you want to just talk about?
Yeah, we could do that. We could talk about our favorites. Yeah. I love Josie Bad. Josie is so cute. I love Ayo's portrayal of Josie too, because there really is no other character like her. The behind the scenes, as you can tell, I watch a lot of behind the scenes footage. And so the director Emma and I think Ayo maybe talked about this in interviews, how there's like really no one like these characters, like they're just their own people, and you know they're fucked up and they're messy and they're not like these perfect representations of gay people, where it's just like a lot of, I think, queer media feels the need to tack on I don't know, the role of, or portraying like kind of these perfectly imperfect people, when it's just like, sometimes bitches are fucked up. And so I love that this movie is like a real representation of that. Like we don't just need to show
people who mess up.
Yeah,
and that's also representation, showing people messing up.
Yeah,
genuinely.
and it's just like boys being dumb is just, it's funny, and like, yes, we've kind of, I think we beat that idea over the head like a million times with a million different movies, Superbad being one of them, but this movie, it's so refreshing because it's just like, yes, girls be dumb. Girls be so dumb. Like, teenage girls especially, those hormones, your prefrontal cortex just dancing around, you are silly, you're stupid. You're silly, you're stupid.
And we love you for that.
Yes. We love you. It's so hard.
One of the best things I did was exit adolescence.
Absolutely. And so it's hard out here, and I love that the movie captures that so perfectly. And it doesn't use being queer, I guess, as a crutch, as a lot of media tends to do, where it's just like, I'm gay and I can't do anything about it, or like, I'm gay and like, I'm traumatized and the world is traumatizing me. But this is just very like, I'm gay and I'm a loser.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just a loser. The main problem isn't that I'm even like queer. The main problem is that I'm bitchless and a loser. Like, and I love that.
And that's what I like, just expanding on that. This showing agency was the coolest part to me about the movie, and I knew that I had to watch it just from the trailers. Like, when I saw the blood, and I was like, these are adolescent girls beating each other up willingly. I have to watch it. Just because it's like, one, film's history with showing women and bleeding and blood, they're either ostracized for it, they're either inflicted by men, it's either they take on, like, you know what I mean? It doesn't feel like they take on the typically masculine trait of being physically violent and then get to retain some of their femininity. I'm thinking specifically of Kill Bill. Where it's like, I'm immediately a samurai warrior, and that's fine, that's great for the 90s or the early 2000s. But it was just cool that it's like we have girls that are like, you know, girly girls and all the different kinds of women,
literally all
beating the shit out of each other.
So many different types of
women. It was great, and I also liked how graphic it was. I liked seeing the blood. I liked seeing, and it was just like, they're not bleeding because something was done to them. Even though that's in the atmosphere of the whole movie is things being done to women, but in this particular thing we choose to focus on, it's women being brave. Because it takes bravery, and they make a joke about it. It's like, oh, like, who wants to swing first? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they get over it, and they learn, and they grow, and you show at the end that they do very much learn to be fearless.
And Josie and PJ enjoy that a little too much.
Oh, dear.
But with Isabel and Brittany kind of hitting them, and that was just very funny and very lovely to see. But
but that was really cool because it's like I don't think I've seen a movie like that where it felt like women taking back their power and embracing the fact that being a woman is also pretty violent.
Yeah. And it's like, I just love that it was a fight club. Like, I love that it's just like, these women have
no tools, just fucking hands.
Just fucking hands and fucking each other up. Like
literally just fucking.
And it wasn't even just like it starts out as like a response to like these men quite literally like assaulting them and, you know, coming up with a solution for it. But it becomes, I think, a place where they can put like their feelings and their like genuine like rage.
Yeah.
And I love that they're able to channel, because female rage when you're like a teen is such a real thing. Like, we talked about girlhood, our previous episode, and we talked about how, you know, you're a teen girl, you have all these hormones and you have all these feelings, and it's just like there's never really a right place to do anything or be who you are.
A valid repository.
No, there isn't absolutely anything. And so there's just this feeling of anger and rage that's like inside of you, and if you don't have anywhere to pull it, just like to put it, it just eats at you.
Yeah.
And I love that I feel like this film, all of these female characters, they had somewhere to put it, and yeah, it's fucking awesome. Because Isabel decides, let's go fuck up some football players, and it's iconic, and I love it.
It was great, yeah. And I liked, so there's that, in sort of being bulldozing, revolutionary, you know. But also, I think the way that, if I'm just kind of personal opinion, I think that this heteronormative society imposes hypersexuality onto the queer community. So I think it was really cool to see Josie and Isabel's relationship, their little scenes and stuff. This is, first of all, a woman shooting women, and you can tell because of the shots and stuff. We, you know, you can find articles and movies at length talking about how men tend to shoot women in sex scenes, or they shoot them sexually. The male gaze, you know, or
just things like not shot by men.
Exactly, yeah, like stuff that like men will shoot it, like the skirt like up here, you know, like that was that really big thing in Texas Chainsaw Massacre in the class that we had, the art of film. It was shot under her ass. It was ridiculous. Like, for what? Like, what? How does that serve the story? But this, the music was super soft and tingly, and it was like the little thing that you were talking about, the little revolving camera.
Yeah, the 360 shot was.
It was adorable because literally, like, it just gave. It was innocent, and I feel like that's not something that is given to women of color. In this movie, there are plenty, and it's not given to queer people. Immediately, you're kind of tied to your sexuality, and it's just not fair. These are kids. So it felt like they were kids. Shit is wild. But it felt like they were kids. They were shot with the respect and that was not wild out. Like I'm thinking about it in contrast to like something like Euphoria.
Ooh,
that is very
absolutely.
like exploitative of like the characters' bodies and
explicit.
Explicit, yeah.
And exploitative.
Yeah.
You're right. You ate that.
Yeah, like it was like seeing those things together, like not hanging the camera too goddamn long. We know that they, fanoodled, but we don't need to see it. You know,
But
like
they're teens. We don't need to see all
and we need
that.
to see it exactly, like
Or they're portraying teens. We don't need to see all that.
exactly. So like, and it's still special because it's supposed to be special. Like this is like her first, and it feels like her first time, and it's like shy and a little awkward.
And
it's
also, it's
beautiful.
presumably like Isabel's first time
As
with a
well,
girl.
yeah.
So like,
So that it just like the what's it called? It held the space for that cinematically, which was so cute.
because it's like the intimacy. I don't know. I love the idea of capturing intimacy in film. I feel like a director who does it like mind-bogglingly well is Barry Jenkins. He does it with If Beale Street Could Talk. He does it with Moonlight. So good. He does it with Moonlight, obviously. And I feel like one thing that a lot of people don't talk about is just like intimacy on TV or in movies. It's just like sometimes the intimacy can come from what's not shown.
Yes.
So it's just like, or what's like kind of implied in a weird way, which is just like, because like it's so weird because it's just like what you see, is just like supposed to be like supposed to supersede everything, in cinema. But it's just like that moment is specifically for those two characters, and that's the real intimacy.
Right. I was just gonna say that's
crazy?
the point of intimacy is that
that's
it's
so sweet.
between me and the people I choose.
Yeah.
Right?
So that's so sweet.
I agree. That yeah. Eight down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So. The diner scene, that was another one that was also a very genuine one.
But I'm a diner.
That was so cute. And it's the same color scheme. It's also, for my U of R folks, the same color scheme as Jay's Diner.
As Jay's Diner. Yeah, I caught that too. But it's so funny because when we were in the theater, like Zoeya caught it immediately. And I had not yet seen, but I'm a cheerleader.
We watched it that night. So
but we watched it later that night, and it was so good. And so, but it's so sweet that, like, yet again, this movie just brings these little details to light in such a lovely way. And something that someone else noted, I think, online was that one of the waitresses had a name tag that said Natasha on it, which is so cute because Natasha Lyonne, she plays the main character in But I'm a Cheerleader. So, yeah, it was just very sweet. The color scheme was very beautiful too. Like,
she has what's her name? Havana. What character's name? Isabel has a cardigan. It's a fuzzy pink cardigan. I saw it in Marshall's, and after 2 cups of wine in the theater, I said, well, like, it's a sign.
Well, yeah.
And I just wanted to say, because we said color scheme, and she had the cute little, like, fuzzy pink cardigan.
Yeah.
It's mine now.
Period.
But yeah, like, even, like, in the outfits, I think they're really cute. I also remember telling you, like, oh my god, when they were beefing, PG and Josie, they were wearing the same color. They were wearing orange.
Oh, wow. I love color theory.
It was
like,
so cute.
For costuming? Oh my god. That
and
so
they're always, like, in that same palette.
Yeah.
So if she's wearing, like, green, she's wearing red. It's autumnal. They're both autumnal.
Oh, I love that. Ooh.
Really
that's
cute.
Isn't that yummy, guys? Like, ooh.
So cute.
That's so good. I love that so much.
And I love that it's like, because they're, at their core, they're connected, even though they're beefing,
Yeah.
So that was, like, kind of a clue that is like, all right, they're not going to fall out because they're still kind of matching in that way.
Oh, I love that. Oh, I love it. I love it. Little tidbits like that, especially in costuming. I love that in costuming. I love that you can also express that through makeup.
Yeah.
I especially love, speaking of makeup, I love Isabel's, like, final look in her cheerleader outfit and her makeup as well with the rhinestones. She looked especially ethereal when she was beating those footballers' ass.
Yes.
Like, it was so good. We were stunned.
Yeah, and that was the other thing too about the shots. When they would each character, like the top 4, I guess, because they had Isabel do it, Hazel did it, Josie and
Brittany.
Yeah, no, yes, but PJ also. The cameras down here, and they're kind of like in that power pose.
Yeah.
Each character had their own, and it was also shot. We were joking about, like, oh, this is a Renaissance piece.
Yeah, there's a
Like
Renaissance
Josie
painting.
running in the front and
Yeah.
them running, like charging. It felt like a painting.
Yeah.
Something about the editing
Oh, absolutely.
of that scene really felt like this is a painting.
It's so funny because there were a lot of different shots that emulated that as well. Like Jeff with the football players in the cafeteria emulated the Last Supper.
Yeah.
And then also in the beginning with the football players kind of surrounding Jeff.
Yeah, he's
like
in the bottom,
like well,
like Jesus.
Yeah. And then the girls are in the car like what the fuck.
Yeah, like
and it's but there were so many different shots in the movie that were just like art, painting esque.
Yeah.
And it was really so well done.
Which is
we love you.
in and of itself very subversive because yes, it's queer, but they're also like such a they're very diverse cast.
Super diverse.
That was just really cool. Like
and super diverse. Like we mentioned it before, super diverse character as well. Like there's so many different types of women in this film,
so
where it's just like you just can't pin them. You can't just be
they're
like
completely different.
you can't pin them down.
Even PJ and Josie, which is really cool.
PJ and Josie were super different. And it was even pointed out in the film where it's just like, why are you guys best friends? You guys are super different. Like, what is going on? But I love that, like, in the end, no, it's alright. But I love that in the end, I don't know, like, we saw why they were friends. You know, like, they love each other. And they're stupid and ridiculous teens.
Literally.
That's it.
Yeah. Next is soundtrack. That music is fantastic.
The
Charlie
music?
XCX.
She was in charge of the music for this movie.
Yeah.
And it ate. It did eat. When I tell you that, because our audience was kind of dead low key, but when that "Complicated" by Avril Lavigne needle drop came on,
weak.
Oh,
we
were on the ground.
Turn around. Oh, girl, the theater.
Total eclipse of the heart. Are you dumb? What do you mean Jeff is getting down to Total Eclipse of the Heart
on a CD Walkman
before game night? Like
in
what?
2023, which very me coded. I enjoy.
What is he talking about?
That was hilarious.
And he was listening too on his little
and he
Walkman.
had the most horror scream when they exited his house. He said,
It was just so funny because Nicholas, I don't know how to say his last name, God forgive me. Galzatine? It's Russian. I'm so sorry.
Yes.
Nicholas Galzatine?
Yes.
He was so funny. Like his
timing. And given his cinematography prior, I didn't think he had him in him. I didn't think that, Mr. Cinderella, Mr. Purple Hearts.
Did you see Red, White, and Royal Blue by any chance yet?
No, but I heard of it.
I haven't either. But that's on his. I haven't seen it either.
Oh, okay.
We were here for the sapphics, not for the male gaze. Sorry.
I heard it was good.
Yes.
Kenny JD said it was good. I trust her.
Yes. So I do want to tune in. I just want to read the book first.
Okay.
I'm enjoying the book so far. It's fun. But yeah, he eats. I think he's very good as a comedic actor. And yeah, he was very funny. He's definitely not the best part of this movie, but like he's super funny. And I really enjoyed his comedic moments and the light-skinned menace.
And I like that it definitely, because one of the things we were talking about with the Barbie movie was that it focused too much on, or a lot on Ken and the Kens.
Yeah.
But this felt like it was focusing on the women.
That was worthwhile. I think the Ken was worth exploring. We did talk a little bit about that. But this just focused on the women.
Right,
like
it was managed. It managed to we
there was maybe
had enough
one
conversation
scene
about
there was like one scene where we were away from the women, and that's just the light-skinned man being a menace.
Yeah, on the burner phone.
Yeah.
Nokia? Motorola. One of the two. Anyways, he bugged. But yeah, he has a scene, Jeff, where he screams and he goes like this. He goes, I don't know if you can see it, but my arms are like that. But yeah, the little shaky, anime, and that's how he screams. And I just think that's so funny. I think that's just one of the many ways this movie is
the physical comedy for a lot of the actors, particularly the men, but a lot of the actors is just hilarious. It's just really good.
Yeah, literally, and then also it's such a good arena for that because of the fighting, like
Yeah.
you kind of got to like
It's gonna get physical
fuck
anyway.
around, yeah,
So,
with your body that way because that's what you're exploring.
And so the
Or what they're
physicality
exploring.
of the comedy as well is like super useful.
Right.
And I love it. I kind of also wish we had more classroom scenes, low key too.
Well, Mr. G?
The classroom scenes were really funny because it was kind of actually the whole cast. It wasn't even just Mr. G being hilarious. It was also the guys and the girls like kind of interacting. And while we don't need any more of the men, it was just really funny, like cast ensemble.
Yes, you're right.
Ken.
When I watched it the second time, he says he starts the scene where he's like the Treaty of Versailles, but what's on the board is he says something completely different. The Holocaust, but on the board is the Treaty of Versailles. So he's like, blah blah blah, the Treaty of Versailles, which you're gonna act out right now, and you just see as they're talking, the characters very much. What are you doing? And halfway through, Kaya goes under, like, behind to get some candies. Like, one of them gets candies as well. They're carrying books over their heads. They're playing games, hand game. It was fantastic. So, yeah, I think it's also definitely because so many, like, there's so much intentionality in the film. It is definitely giving it, worth giving it a second watch. Because, you know, you focus on that first plot, the main characters doing what they do. Yeah. And then there's, like, the background characters, like, you know, twisting their faces to not laugh. They're doing some absurdity behind the class. You notice Sun in the bear cage in the science room.
Sun in the bear cage.
Yeah, so. Why are there, Bunsen burners in the things, test tubes?
Yeah,
in
beakers.
The social studies room? Beakers. Like
why do you have Jeff? Yeah. And it's so funny because Jeff, like, he breaks a beaker and
in the history room.
What the fuck is going on?
This is history.
Like, what are you doing?
What are we doing?
But yeah, no, that was funny. And I also I literally just thought about when Mr. G finds out about P and Josie, like the truth about P and Josie, he was just like, damn, I knew women was evil. And it was just, I'm sorry, it was just so funny.
Time and time
again. Because you know that divorce hit him real hard. He's here talking about the Treaty of Versailles, and then he ends up talking about the Holocaust. Like, what? Like, that divorce hit him real hard. Yeah. And that, I don't know, it was just so funny because in the end, he's like, I knew women were good. I was saying this shit all along.
That's my girl's period. I love it.
Oh my god.
But it was funny because, he ate. What else?
But yes, the duality of women. I knew women were evil.
I also very much love the King Princess song. It's what I've been listening to. It's maybe because of my immediate association. The do when they're starting to fight.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic.
In the montage, yeah. I love me a good montage.
And like I really, because at first I was like, oh, this is a really good like workout song because it is like, you know, that aggressive scene, and like my favorite kind of music is film music because I'm immediately tying it to the emotions of the scene. So
and you're working through those emotions yourself.
So it felt very queer. I felt very, I'm like looking at a beautiful girl right now, and the little doo-doos I enjoy. But for any, because it's not on the soundtrack. If you look it up on Spotify, it shows the original soundtrack and it won't show like Avril Lavigne's Complicated or Bonnie Tyler's. Yeah. Wow. So just letting y'all know, the little doo-doo song when they're getting beat up is King Princess's Pain. For anyone who is searching multiple articles trying to find that title, like me. So receptions, ratings, final thoughts.
I feel like the gays enjoyed this film.
Yes. And they, like,
I don't know what all of y'all thought.
They got a damn, like,
but from
9 out of 10, 98, like, yeah. It was 7 out of 10 on IMDb, 7.6 out of 10, so an 8 out of 10 on IMDb, 95 Rotten Tomatoes, 95 on Fandango.
Period.
Yo.
Movie of the summer.
Yo.
I mean, it was Barbie,
cool.
but, like,
but this is a really close. I'm really excited because I really get like just emotional excited when I find films that like, oh, I'm about to buy you. I'm about to I'm gonna purchase you. Watch you maybe on third-party websites if the money is tight, but I will watch you multiple times. Like,
so, you know, today will be saved.
Right.
Mayhaps.
Popcorn time.
If the money is tight, like,
right, like,
if you will.
So exactly, like
Yes,
I'm so excited because the Barbie movie felt that way for me. I will definitely be rewatching years to come. This I will be watching years to come.
Yeah.
Like it just feels like a fun movie, and I really enjoy movies that just manage to do the work but aren't heavy. And I think that's so fun. Like, don't make me cry.
Managed to do the work but aren't heavy.
Yeah.
Ate it.
But it's hard.
Ate it, clocked it, gagged it. Like, absolutely.
Hard.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, even in my own, like,
Wow.
pieces, my artwork stuff, like, my writing, it's really hard to...
Yeah.
Even in the girlhood episode, like, we re-recorded it because we centered so much on, like, the way men made us feel like shit, if we're gonna keep it a buck.
Yeah.
And we had to take that extra time. At least me personally, I really had to, like, focus on, like, okay, but how can we make this positive? And that takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of, like, how can I not diminish my experiences but make something good out of them? And it's tough. So I really appreciate it when, you know, I see people in the media doing it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Everybody put in the work. We have to put in the work. Creatives put in the work. We're trying to put in the work. Hope we don't get replaced by AI. But
oh my god,
we're trying to put in the work. And as you can see, human activity and human creative work does pay off. I mean, look at this entire summer, and we will. We will look at this entire summer and all of the cinematic experiences that we've had. In another episode, we will be dissecting the summer of cinema, which we will give our sort of reviews and our thoughts on every single movie basically that's come out this summer.
Because we're both on A-list, so we're in that theater.
We're in
especially because they got me for 3 months until like I can't cancel without a cancellation fee until like December. I'll be there.
I'm sad.
Have you seen it? Yeah, I'm sad.
I'm sad in that theater until December. Wonka, Timothy Chalamet.
Oh my god!
You will be seeing me.
He said, look up. Down. Oh, no. Scratch that. Reverse it. I said,
it's camp. I don't
It's camp as fuck.
It's camp.
It's camp. And they threw a little black girl in there. What the hell is going on?
Sorry, Team Timothy. Team Timothy.
I have a friend that's very Team Timothy.
I'm on his side.
And I just can't get over the fact that he gave the hoes in NYU chlamydia that one time. But the more I watch him, I like him.
He seems fun.
He seems funny.
He seems fun.
Real goddamn skinny though. Skinny like McGee as fuck.
He seems really
scary skeletons all up in them knees, but it's okay. Your experiences are valid.
No. He just seems fun. So he seems funny.
Bony shoulders.
He seems funny.
He's struggling.
Hunger Games also coming out too.
Oh
so,
my god,
we're about to be sat in that theater. Absolutely.
Like what? Oh, and and I'm also gonna talk about because I don't think you saw or will see Talk to Me, but I did.
I think I might see it. Okay, well, you can cover that section.
Yeah, I was about to say. You know, we're also gonna be talking about horror. Cause
I heard good things about it though.
It's interesting. I definitely want to hear your thoughts, and I want to hear y'all's thoughts because
I'm not sure about seeing in theaters, but I definitely want to watch it on my own.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Controlled environment.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
But seeing it in theaters is really cool, like, just in general, because you're not alone, and the host will let you know.
Moral of the story, take your ass to the cinema. Go see Bottoms, please.
Go.
And thank you. And if you still have a chance, go see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We love animation. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I loved it. I love the style of animation. Io is in it. This is her summer. She is never without a job. Io Debris is never without a job. Also, go watch The Bear, because that's real TV.
I started it. Episode 4.
Incredible television. Season 2, it somehow gets even better in season 2. Behind, corner. Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
Thank you, chef. Thank you for tuning into our episode. I think this is maybe all we have for now. Yes. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to tune in, like we said, next week for our review on the summer of cinema.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yay.
Thank you so much for watching.
Go see Bottoms.
Go
Support
see
queer cinema.
Support queer